We on this show have many great things to talk about, including our arguments about Deshaun Watson, that we don't need to make bullshit topics. But we thought we might not, so we had the bullshit topic in 20 seconds.
There we go.
The most amazing thing to me and is that people get triggered by
they get so mad.
Where Browns are on the list.
They get so mad.
It's insane. It's like one person's opinion. Who made this list? You never even heard of the guy or girl who did it. Who cares? A power rankings list in July, a power rankings list at any time is 100% meaningless. So why would you care if the Browns were 22nd? Why would that bother you? I don't understand. I don't look at where the Browns and the Bengals rank on these things. If I were at I'll just speak for the Bengals because I don't do the Bengals for my job. I do the Bengals just as a fan. I don't look at where the Bengals are on the power rankings. I don't give a shit. Who cares?
Does that make Bull a bad fan, G?
No, because to be clear, the Bengals and the Browns aren't on the same level. Like the Browns are on the list of everybody. It's a rite of passage to troll the Browns. The Bengals have been bad, but the Bengals have
get
also
trolled
been
a lot too.
But
People love Joe Burrow.
They love Joe Burrow.
And
if you look, they've been to the Super Bowl 3 times. Like they got players
including 2 years ago.
Yeah,
recently.
But the Browns are a very easy dismissive choice.
But there are a lot of people that are high on the Browns right now nationally too.
Yes,
it's a mixed bag. There's the opinions, and I'm not surprised by this. The opinions on this is what is really interesting about it is that the mixed opinion on the Browns. There is more variety of opinion on the Browns, I think, than maybe any other team in football.
I would say I'm pretty confident it is 100% more variety. It all comes down to how you feel
think
about
of
Deshaun Watson. Yeah,
that's it. Because some people don't think the talent overall is as good. Most people realize the Browns have a lot of talent. But if you think Watson's going to be great, you're going to have the Browns in the top 5. You think he's going to be good, you're going to have him in the top 10. You think he's going to be mediocre, you're going to have him between 10 and 15. If you think he's going to suck, you're going to have him after 15. It all comes down to how good you think he is.
I think the Cleveland Browns fan base is the most divided fan base in the game. I think if you watch Philadelphia picks a couple of people and they got the same opinion. I don't like this guy, or this guy. When you watch the Cleveland Browns over the last 10 years, I can give you names and just throw them out and watch the group of people that go over there and want to go over there.
But gee, I can say Nick Chubb or Myles Garrett, and there's not going to be no dividing line between those guys.
Well, no, hold on. No.
I feel like every fan base has their guys.
That's not true. Like, we just forget. When Myles Garrett hit old boy in the helmet.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
It was a chasm. It was guys over there and guys over there.
I agree with that. But here's the thing. That's because the Browns haven't had a short thing at quarterback play like a short thing. We thought we had, some fans thought Baker was, but not everybody was convinced.
Baker Mayfield over here,
Deshaun Watson was.
Deshaun Watson over here.
But Deshaun Watson was a superstar. He hasn't played like a superstar here, and there's off the field stuff. If the Browns had Joe Burrow as quarterback, there'd be no dissenting views.
Odell Beckham Jr. over here.
But he didn't play well here.
Okay. Jarvis Landry over here.
Everybody liked Jarvis.
At the end of Jarvis Landry.
But he stopped playing well. It comes down to when you don't play well. There's
no dissenting opinions on Nick Chubb. Everybody loves Nick Chubb. Everybody.
Except the time when Nick Chubb went viral because people were saying that they've got to move on from Nick Chubb because you don't pay a running back that. Remember, we don't remember that in the summer?
I don't think there were a lot of fans saying that.
People was going. There's people writing whole articles about that.
Yeah, but that's national media members. That's not Browns fans.
Yeah.
When you look at it, I'll say this: when you take a look, and even before, the Browns don't have a unified message on pretty much anything. Like even when we say stadium, there ain't no. It's dissenting.
I just don't buy that. Every other fan base wouldn't have the same arguments about the same players.
Well, here's the thing. I'm looking around.
You think there'd be any city in America right now if Deshaun Watson had got traded to any other place?
Atlanta, Carolina.
And he had played like he played here. It'd be the same divide.
So I look at it like this. Like there is a divide, like say Kirk Cousins, right?
Yeah.
Some people think Kirk Cousins is good. Some people think Kirk Cousins is bad.
Yeah.
I don't think people in Minnesota was like divided 50-50.
But you don't know. You're not paying that close attention. I don't know either.
But my theory is this: the reason these lists trigger us, right, and the reason they continue to do this, right, is because for us in our fan base, we end up on these lists 25, 22, 23, right? And we get hot and upset about it because we feel like you're trolling. Like, let's be real. You know the Cleveland Browns are not the 20 best team.
And if you look at this list, and we pull up the list again, like,
yeah, we got it right here.
It doesn't matter. We can argue specific, but there is no world in any capacity you could talk yourself into the Giants at 21.
But
are you serious?
That's our point. Like,
it's stupid.
They do this to troll.
You really think?
No. My
do
point
you
is,
really think this guy was trolling the Browns?
Not necessarily.
Yes!
Not necessarily the
come
like,
on.
but the Colts too. Like, you can't put the Giants ahead of the Colts for the Browns' sake. And I'm just looking at this from the Browns' perspective.
Yeah.
Like the Seahawks at 13, there's no world where the Seahawks are 10 spots ahead or 9 spots ahead of the Browns.
just don't
the Giants
care
in
that
particular
much.
is the most egregious misplaced one.
It is stupid that
Caleb
the
Williams
Giants
at
would be
15 and the Bears, like even if you're high on the Bears, that's a catastrophic jump from a team that was picking in the top 10 last year.
Well, first of all, you can make an argument for that it's not impossible that the Bears are going to be better than the Browns this year. That's silly. It's possible.
But
so maybe this guy believes it. Every year there are teams that surprise.
I can tell you
The Bears could be better than the Bengals too. I mean, I don't know.
So here's
If Caleb Williams is CJ Stroud, why couldn't the Bears be excellent?
You just, in my opinion, when you're putting this list together beforehand, to do something like that, and all these lists come with the intent to get a reaction.
That's it.
No, all these lists come to get intent to get a reaction. That's not the right. That guy's also there to get a reaction.
I don't buy.
But like,
I don't.
you can't
this
talk.
Idea,
There's no football argument you can talk yourself into
Yeah.
to put the Giants
Ever.
ahead of the Browns.
Probably not.
There's not.
But I don't know who made this list.
It was
okay?
FanDuel. It wasn't a writer. It was FanDuel.
Do you really think they said, let's troll the Browns? I just don't.
Well, it's not the Browns, but FanDuel puts out the over/under win-losses, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you would think maybe their list goes hand in hand
But
with
this
the
might just be one guy who works at FanDuel.
I'm just saying they put these out for a reaction, and there is no.
He at least got the
tangible
Broncos
way.
right. 32 is right.
That's wrong. The Patriots. I would have the Patriots 30.
Nah, we got a rookie quarterback.
And I talked to Jay about this too, and I asked him, and this is a deeper conversation to be had. Like to believe that there's any integrity in the list that people put out or the things that they say in like the sports media is ludicrous.
I think that's unfair.
That's ludicrous.
What, you think nobody has integrity?
Not the rich dudes.
What do you mean the rich dudes?
So in this game,
yeah.
When we got
this is some random dude. We don't even know who it is.
So this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I could put out a regular power ranking list just like this, right?
Yeah.
And I could slate it correctly, right? But
correctly based on what you think. Everybody's got a different opinion.
So let me give you this, okay? To show you how this works. G. Bush's power ranking list, right? If I'm a no-name gangster and don't nobody know who I am, I could go ahead and put Kansas City and Baltimore and San Francisco and be very measured. Or I could just say, let me come up with my own list. Let me put Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs at 10. Let me move Baltimore to 15, and I'm gonna put the Lions at 25 because look, I think they go fall. And then people will say, "Who's this idiot?"
It's an engagement for him.
It's an engagement.
Okay, maybe so. So then, why would you care about it then?
Well, because
first of all, I think some people make these lists and do what they really think is the right order. There are probably some that make lists and do crazy things to get a reaction. I don't buy this whole cabal of NFL predictors trolling Browns fans.
I do. Here's
cabal,
the thing.
great word.
Here's the thing. The reason why I do think
you're biased, though.
No.
You are.
Well,
you're biased because you feel picked on.
No,
as a Browns fan.
No, because I don't feel biased. I go by football 101. Like McNugget said, there was no way. In a practical football reason that you can put a rookie quarterback with a team that drafted in the top. They had the number 1 overall pick, and you picked them 15.
Well, that was the Panthers pick. They had the 9th
But
pick. I'm with you.
There are other lists where the Browns are in the top 10. Like, why didn't those people are fair?
I haven't seen very many.
How many lists have you seen?
We do them a lot on the show.
Okay, Mike's only picking the ones. Mike's only picking the ones where the Browns are being insulted.
I mean, we don't be seeing it.
Let's find a random NFL power rankings. Here we go. NFL power rankings. We're gonna randomly do it. Okay, this is Yahoo Sports.
I've seen the Browns between like.
Okay.
Yahoo Sports. Where do they have the Browns? 7.
Okay.
Yahoo Sports right here. Frank Schwab of Yahoo Sports has the Browns 7.
Real quick before you go on,
Yeah.
Frank Schwab, as we all know, is the most respected writer in all of
Exactly.
football. Like he,
That's Frankie. That's big Frankie Schwab. Okay.
Unbiased journalism. Frankie Schwab's the ego.
All right, here we go. Next up, power rankings. Bleacher Report 1 day ago. This is the NFL staff Bleacher Report. Let's see where the Browns are. Let's see. I'm only on 21. All right, they got the. Let's see. Here we go. I'll give you the on Bleacher Report. We got number 1 is the Chiefs. Number 2 is the Niners. Number 3 is the Lions. Number 4, the Texans. Number 5, the Ravens. 6 is the Bengals. 7 is the Bills. 8 is the Eagles. Is he telling me to wrap it up?
I think so.
That is obnoxious. I know it's, listen, the point is, okay, the Browns are lower on this one.
Which are what they are?
I still haven't found them yet.
Okay.
13, 14.
16, 20.
Browns are 15. Is that insulting? Where is the insulting line?
So we've seen 22, we've seen 7, and we've seen 15.
Where is the insulting line? Tell me where you think the insulting line is.
Bottom half of the league, G?
Yeah,
You got at
bottom
16?
Is 15 insulting?
How many teams is it?
32.
16 and below is insulting.
So 15 is not insulting.
It's borderline. I see
Borderline
more lists.
insulting.
I've seen the Browns
NFL
more.
Network has the Browns 12.
Okay,
Is that fair?
that's cool.
Where would you have the Browns? Let me give you the teams that NFL Network is ahead of the Browns.
Okay.
And you tell me if you'd put the Browns ahead of this team. Okay? Chiefs. Niners. Ravens.
Nope.
Lions.
Nope.
Eagles.
I think you can make a case. I don't think the Eagles are that talented.
I could make a case for the Eagles.
Okay,
but I'm not going
certainly make a case for. Okay.
you could.
Texans.
I give the Texans the edge.
I give
Texans beat them in the playoffs
Yeah,
last year.
yeah,
You'd have to
slightly.
lean
I
in
give
that
the edge.
direction. Bills.
I can make a case for the Browns.
I think that's the push.
Packers.
I like the Packers a lot this year.
I like the Packers, but I think the Browns could beat the Packers. Push.
Bengals.
I think it's a push.
Same thing.
Cowboys.
Push.
Dolphins.
Push.
So I think I don't. It's definitely not an insult putting the Browns 12.
No.
So that's now 4. We saw the Browns 7, 12, 15, 22. 22 is absurd.
It's kind of crazy.
I think we understand.
It's kind of crazy.
I think reasonably, it just comes down to what is your gut telling you about Deshaun Watson. And that's going to lead the Browns to being reasonably anywhere, I think, from 5 to 15. Really. And that's it, because if you think Deshaun Watson's going to be really good, the Browns are a Super Bowl contender. Not a top Super Bowl contender, but a Super Bowl contender. So you have them between 5 and 7. If you think he's going to be kind of mediocre, then they're still a playoff contender, but they're a lower tier playoff contender. I guess if you think he's going to be terrible and you think their talent is overrated, you put him at 22. I'll agree 22 is absurd. I don't care. I think it's stupid. I think the other 3 that we saw, Yahoo, Bleacher Report, and NFL.com are reasonable. Now, I'd have the Browns personally higher than 15. But I think the Browns are, in that 9 to 12 range is probably where they belong heading into the season, because unlike the other really talented teams, there is a big question mark about their quarterback. That's fair.